screen, my desktop is personalized the way I like it. And those icons at the bottom are really the applications I use all the time. Now, I have to stop for a second, because I was reading some blog posts. I'm totally going off script here. I was reading some blog posts after the keynote, and generally it was great to read your feedback. And there was one comment that was interesting where someone said, oh, Microsoft copied another operating system. Look at those large icons. And I have to say, I'd probably lose my job for this. But the comment was accurate. It's true. We did indeed steal from ourselves Windows 1.0, Windows 95, Windows XP, and Windows Vista. Yes, we did learn from our improvements, and we bring you this OS. And as you've seen through the history of Windows, large icons have always been there, the ability to switch has always been there, grouping windows has always been there. So we're proud to evolve the taskbar as you see it today. So the first thing I'd like to do with my taskbar is customizing it, if my mouse is behaving. There we go. And so WinRAR, great utility I use all the time. And so very easy to drag and drop onto your taskbar, as you saw. And the other thing, of course, that's instrumental to the taskbar is launching. So here's Word. I'm going to launch Word. Pretty simple. I'm going to actually open up a file in Word. I have some file prepared. It's a very interesting read, as you can tell. And the thing you'll notice at the bottom of the taskbar is the launcher that started Word is now the switcher that can switch to Word. So just like the Vista taskbar, I can switch and launch. Really simple. And just like the Vista taskbar, if I bring my mouse to it, I get a pretty little thumbnail. It's a little bigger than Win 7. And one thing we learned was, don't show people nice little UI and not let them click on it. And in Vista, you see the thumbnail, but you can't touch the thumbnail. And now we're saying, touch the thumbnail. So just bring your mouse up and click on it. It's a very natural and lightweight way to switch. But the interesting thing happens is when I open up another document. And here, I'm going to open up another document called Demo 2. Now, the first thing you'll notice is when I bring my mouse here, I'm not even clicking, by the way. I'm just bringing my mouse here and hover. You see now group thumbnails. And for you enthusiasts out there, think of this as a contextual Alt-Tab, right? Just like you have Alt-Tab that has these items, all we did was take this very old UI that is Alt-Tab that's been around since, well, Windows 95 in this incarnation, and we just connected it to the taskbar. So now it's one easy place to go. And just like you expect, you can click to switch. Again, very intuitive, very natural. But one thing we find out very quickly is, usually we demo this with really nice pictures on the taskbar. You notice I did not use nice pictures for thumbnails. I chose probably the hardest scenario, which is 2 Word documents. Now, you may not have noticed, but my 2 documents are actually different. This document has some interesting things about a fox jumping. And this document also has that, but in the back row you may not see this, but the front row, there's an ever so small period here. Now the question is, how do we design a model that lets people switch with confidence? So now, if I bring my mouse here and I ask you folks, and actually, let's make this more interesting. Let's launch IE just to cover all these windows. Let's make it this realistic. If I bring my mouse here, the question is, which document has the period? Now, some of you may say, well, actually, I noticed the documents are named Demo 1 and Demo 2. And you found the first way to distinguish documents, the text above it. And it's an interesting point to make, though, that the taskbar, every button on the taskbar used to compete with itself. So think about it. IE's windows would compete with Word windows. In this model, though, when you hover, only the Word windows kind of get to party. And so you have a lot more space to find the document you're looking for. So much easier to find it. But still, come on, Demo 1, Demo 2, there's got to be a better way to distinguish. And you saw some of this morning, but just want to underscore this. If I simply just bring my mouse over the document, you notice something very interesting happening. All the other windows on the desktop turn to glass. And only the window I'm peeking at, and we call this feature Arrow Peek, or Peek for short, only the window I'm looking at gets to come to my attention. And you'll notice it's one of the only window switchers to our knowledge that actually lets you find your window based on the actual size of the window and the actual location of the window. And this is a very big change because now I can easily see this period, this one little piece of differentiating character in these 2 documents. I can easily see this. We also discovered something interesting as we were using this feature. And the reason it's called Peek is there are many scenarios when sometimes you switch to a window to get a phone number or get a name. And we find now that sometimes you can just kind of peek at a window. And you notice I haven't even switched context. If I just move my mouse away, IE will come back because I didn't switch. So now you can just quickly peek at a window and look at the information and go back. And a way to think of Peek is a way, we kind of invented a way to switch windows without switching windows. Arrow Peek, we're very excited about now that being an integrated part of the taskbar and giving you a lot more confidence about how you work. I should also mention that from a taskbar perspective, we know window management is important. So not only can I peek, I can also just close a window from here directly. And if you actually look at this thumbnail, it's kind of funny. It's a mini window. There's a title bar in the top left, there's some text, and a close button. So again, we want that to be very natural and very intuitive. And if I even launch some more windows here, you'll notice it's just a really elegant experience to find the window I'm looking for and just move my mouse around and easily click and switch. Let's also talk about the #1 feature request